Let me show you a quick, some may say lazy way of doing a double exposition effect in Affinity. First thing we need is a proper picture. So drag and drop your image. Here it is. The important detail is that you got some kind of darker part of the image, like in this case we got shadow here, and the brighter part of the image, like the face. That's what we need. We need some kind of contrast because in the double exposure pictures, the alternative image, different picture will kind of leak through the darker part. That's why I recommend to have a bright backdrop. In my case, my backdrop is semi-dark, so it's make the whole process a bit harder. If you got totally white backdrop, it's even easier. But if you use the black backdrop, impossible. All right, so we need this kind of contrast here and not too dark backdrop. With that, we can now turn this into black and white. So make sure you are in the pixel mode. We are working with pixels today. Pixel menu at the top, new adjustment layer, and we can select black and white from the list. We can use those sliders to get a proper contrast. This will help us to translate original colors into grayscale, you can say. Alright, and we can merge it straight away. We don't need to keep it editable. Alright, here it is. I'm going to duplicate this layer, so right click and duplicate. Now we got a copy. Now it's the perfect time to drag and drop the second image. Here it is, a nice colorful image. Make it large enough so it can cover the area we are interested in that case the back of his head. Alright. And place it in between those two images, the layer between those two copies, just like that. And now some people may tell you that we're going into very detailed selections, changing different blending modes. It will take like 15 minutes. We can do that, of course, but this is the quick method. So what we are going to do is select the picture at the top, go for pixel, and we're going to use pixel selection, select sample color. So we want to select the bright color from his face, not the dark color, the bright color from his face, and bump up the tolerance a bit. Bump it up. All right. And if you are happy with the selection, you can see his face. Then we click apply. And with this selection apply, we can make a mask straight away. Mask layer. All right. Not perfect, but it's a start. Now we got mask still selected. We don't need the selection we made before, so you can go for pixel selection, deselect. We see the face clearly and we see another picture leaking out in the darker areas. So what we need to do next is to just use the brush, a regular brush, a default brush, and we're going to play with black and white color on the mask layer. If I add white color, those areas will disappear completely. Look at that. If it's not vanishing completely, we need to double check our opacity. We can reduce the softness by adding a bit here, so the brush is a bit stiffer. Make sure it's not a wet brush, and of course make sure you got 100% white color. This way now I can completely hide this area. You can adjust the size of the brush here with the slider, or what I like to do, square brackets on your keyboard. So we don't need a picture here. We got this face, and we want the picture to only leak out on this darker side of the image. So we don't need this part, this part. Don't need to be super precise, because in a moment we're going to switch back to the dark color and bring some of the color back this way. All right, so we kind of brush this nicely off like that. It looks sharp again. And very often in this effect, you will see that this picture is kind of coming out from that contour. So what we do, switch back to this one, make the brush really large and 0% hardness. So it's really soft, large brush. And now we can like just, with very large brush, we can like click here, maybe here again. And that's it. That's the recipe for a lazy and very quick double exposure picture. So we see the original portrait in the black and white, and in the darker part of the portrait we got another colorful picture from the layer below, leaking out just like that. Of course, we could go really precise and spend here 30 minutes, but if you need just a quick effect or you're testing something, I think this method is decent enough. I hope this was helpful. See you in the next one. Bye.